On August 27, 1967, with the Sgt. Pepper's Lonely Hearts Club Band album atop the world's charts, the Beatles were learning the finer points of transcendental meditation at a retreat in Bangor, Wales, with the Maharishi Mahesh Yogi, when word reached them of the death, just days short of his 33rd birthday, of their manager, Brian Epstein. Suddenly the Fab Four were left rudderless, unable to rely upon the man who had enabled them and their empire to function efficiently. There was a very real chance then that the group would collapse in disarray, something that occurred most cogently to Paul McCartney. Though some accused him of callousness, he effectively stepped into Brian's shoes and within 2 weeks had them on a brightly coloured bus with about 50 friends and extras meandering through the English countryside, making a television film for screening on the BBC that Christmas. His theory being that with work to occupy them, there was less likelihood of them dwelling on their loss and breaking apart. Magical Mystery Tour, for all its charm to Beatles devotees, was an earnestly amateur effort, slapped together in not much more than a few days. It was a surrealism meets music hall tale of a mad bus ride taken by Ringo and his Aunt Jessie, much of it shot at the West Malling RAF station in Kent. Logistically, it was a bit of a nightmare because, in the days of Brian, wherever the Beatles showed up, all necessary arrangements had been made. But with him gone, they found, to their dismay, that they had to attend to such prosaic things themselves. One imagines John, who does look as if he's along on Paul's ride under some sufferance, was pretty scathing when the hotel doors closed at night. Still, after 6 weeks of cutting and the outlay of only about $100,000, they had a disjointed but actually quite endearing, at least in retrospect, telly special. However, the reviews were not kind. Even the Queen, through palace sources, bagged it. Paul was required to pretty much apologise for it, telling the press, "We don't say it was a good film. It was our first attempt. If we goofed, then we goofed. It was a challenge and it didn't come off. We'll all know better next time." But the music, as the first new material since Sgt. Pepper, ranged from the magnificent John's Eye and the Walrus, Paul's Fool on the Hill and George's Blue Jay Way, to the admirable Your Mother Should Know, the instrumental Flying and the title track. And that is what lives on. It also indirectly spawned a wonderful top 5 hit a year later. Paul McCartney's brother Michael, Mike McGear of Scaffold, had suggested Paul hire the group the Bonzo Dog Doodah Band, and they were filmed for Magical Mystery Tour, performing a song called Death Cab for Cutie at the Raymond Review Bar Strip Club with McCartney present. He took a liking to them and went on to produce their hit I'm the Urban Spaceman under the alias of Apollo C. Vermouth. What you're about to see, Magical Mystery Tour Memories, is an hour-long rockumentary, I suppose you'd call it. It's a bit hard to explain, though it does have the same lick-spittle, cut-and-paste quality of Magical Mystery Tour itself. I mean, we're all familiar with the making-of type documentaries, but rarely do they appear more than 40 years after the film. This is, with the perspective of time, a charmingly cobbled together collection of home movie footage, old snapshots and a range of recollections from Spencer Davis, who turned up on the set, Mike McGear, Beatles press officer Tony Barrow, Beatles fan club president Frida Kelly, a travelling journalist and photographer, and a grab bag of bystanders and observers, including policemen, hotel managers, gawking fans and ballroom dancers. The funny thing is, it works, sometimes really well. If you'd ever wondered how the most famous entertainment act in the world could load themselves into a bus with a bunch of crazies and go motoring around back roads, followed by a psychedelic Rolls Royce, getting stuck on narrow bridges, dropping in unannounced at fish and chip shops, having midgets knock on hotel doors in the middle of the night, then this modest little production, narrated by Victor Spinetti, an actor whose credits include not only Magical Mystery Tour, but A Hard Day's Night and Help, will enlighten you. I think it's only because they really had no idea what they were doing that they could do it at all. This cute little special could well have been made on even less budget than the TV film it's based upon. There's certainly no polish to it, but I learned a whole lot from it. And whether you're a Beatles devotee or not, I think you will too. It's its own magical mystery tour. Oh, and by the way, stick around until after the credits roll. They're not very long, because there's something rather tasty tucked away in the final seconds.